Today's basically just going to be the same as my past couple streams, just black bordering for a while. I think we still need a couple more medals on Tinkerton, and then we can move on to whatever the next map is. It looks like our next hero in line is going to be Sada, which is cool. I like Sada. I have used her before, so I am vaguely familiar with her abilities. I'm excited for Brickle, though. I've never used Brickle, so I don't really know what she does. I just know that she boosts sub-monkeys, like water monkeys, so that's kind of all I know about her, but we'll get to her eventually. I'm least excited for these guys. I know these guys are kind of like big in the meta right now, and a lot of people like these guys, but I just really don't know how to use them. I don't think they're bad, but I just don't know how to use them. Anyways, go ahead and finish up Tinkerton. We got our black chimps medal last week, so we don't have to worry about that. So we just have double HP mobs and half cash, which should be pretty easy. Pretty standard games here. Half cash, I think we can still run the same strategy we've been doing with the dart monkey and the tack shooter for like the first 20 rounds or so. Save up for the hero and then just coast for the rest of the game. But I should remind myself we are trying to unlock the paragons as well. So we probably want to focus on those towers. First up being the tack shooter. The tack shooter, then after that I believe is sub. Yeah, okay, so we still need a lot of XP for both of those guys. And in the meantime, if possible, we could also start we can start unlocking achievements along the way. Sorry, I got a brain farted there. Hey Jess, how you doing? Don't y'all think it's kind of weird how they made this map have a hole right here in the building that looks like it would be the exit, but it's not the exit at all? Like they purposefully what am I trying to say? Purposefully obscured this path here, and they just, I don't know, made this the exit instead of this hole, which I think is like the obvious choice, but whatever.
Here we go. We.
I wonder if there's some kind of secret before you start the game where you can actually set that as an exit, as like a little challenge, similar to spa pits. I feel like double HP mobs isn't really an issue for tack shooters. I think they're cheap enough to where we can buy all the tier 4 upgrades before round 40, and they should be able to take care of the mobs pretty easily, especially with Etienne's ability, so I think we're pretty squared away there. We might want to buy the mortar so we can get shattering shells to take care of fortified balloons. But I think normal mobs with, you know, double HP should be just fine for the tack shooters. Man, I'm about to have a busy week ahead of me. I've got to today I have to finish out my Astria recording, so I've got to record one more video for that, which isn't that bad. It's only like 30-minute recording. But after that, tomorrow I need to go get my fingerprints done for my paperwork, and I don't know how long that's going to take. Tuesday I'm streaming again, of course. Wednesday I have to go get a tuberculosis test because my district requires that for some reason. I have to go get that at some point as well. Then Thursday I'm streaming again. Friday, I guess Friday's pretty much off for me. I'm not doing anything Friday. Probably just making sure everything is, you know, done in terms of paperwork and all that. Oh, actually, my correspondent for the district told me I need to schedule an appointment with her once I get all my paperwork and everything done, so maybe I'll have to do something Friday if I can schedule it that early. And then of course Saturday, Sunday again I'm streaming, so pretty busy week for me.
C'est la guerre.
So something I was thinking about also,
Tracking MOAB.
because let's make sure we don't die here.
Eyes on that exit.
Okay, I guess we do die. We're gonna need a little bit of extra help for around 40. We could just run a mer monkey out here. Top path mer monkey, I think, would do the job. Anyways, let's go ahead and start that again. But something else I was thinking of for stream was some aesthetics, you know, for like the overlay and for when I get enough not subscribers, enough followers to unlock subscribers. Just for y'all that aren't familiar with Twitch, new streamers don't automatically get access to subscribers right away. You need to reach, I believe, 50 followers before that happens. And you need to do some kind of application. And I believe I'm at like 28 or something followers. Which is a little surprising. I know on YouTube I have like 70 subscribers almost. So you'd think I'd have almost about the same on Twitch for followers, but it's just not the case. So, you know, again, I do plan on, you know, just continuing to stream for as long as possible. So, whenever I do eventually hit 50 followers and get the affiliate status, that's what it's called. When you get to that point, you'll become known as an affiliate, and you'll get the ability for viewers to subscribe and donate and all that stuff.
Drone power.
So, I was thinking about like different emotes I can add to the channel, my sub badge, and the animation for the subscriber notification. You know what I mean? And I have a few rough ideas, but I'm gonna have to sit down and actually put in the hours to work all that out, because I am not skilled in Photoshop or Blender whatsoever. So whatever I do is gonna have to take a good chunk of my time to do. But my idea, if I can word this in a way that makes sense, for the subscriber notification, it's going to be a notification that pops up in this corner, or more likely than not, probably this corner here, bottom left. And it's going to look like a window being maximized from your tray in Windows. Let me see if I can show that. Let me turn on my my display capture and show you what I mean. So if I have my display capture on, I do this. You see that? If I do that again. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so if I like open up Vast here and make it a small little window in the corner. Oops, sorry. A little hard to put this here. So yeah, if I have like a little corner window like that, and I minimize it, it'll go away into the tray like that. You see that little shrink animation that it did? Then when I pull it back up, it does the opposite. Oh, I forgot. I forgot about the LEDs. That's not good. Hold on. There's no bombs? We don't have... Alright, I guess I'm just screwed. That's my bad. Anyways, yeah, that's my idea. Is to have... Man, my brain is like scrambled right now, sorry. Is to have a little pop-up window that comes out of the corner like that whenever somebody subscribes. It's going to be a bit more stylized than just like a, you know, a plain Chrome window like that. But it's going to show like new subscriber at the top, where it would show like the name of the tab that you're in. And then it's going to be animated so that the message that shows, it's going to show your name has subscribed for X amount of months. It's going to be as if somebody were typing it in the window. Let me see if I can show you a good example that makes sense. So if I have this guy over here, it would be kind of like this. This is very rough. This is not what it's going to look like, but I guess this is kind of a rough demo of what it would look like. It would be a smaller window like this in the corner. You would see here, you would say like new subscriber alert or something like that. And then here, it would be probably just like a blank, or like mostly blank, like text box. Then it would say like Chess has subbed for X months, like that. So the animation would literally be, you know, typing out the text and then, you know, deleting it after that. So it'd get typed out like that, get deleted, and then go back into the tray. And it would have some sound effects and all that good stuff that comes with a good sub notification. And that would be my notification, basically. Like I said, I want it to be a bit more stylized. It's not going to look quite that bland, but that's a rough idea. Like a sign from a convenience store. What do you mean? I don't think I know what you mean. Oh, you're talking about like the neon signs that display text, like scroll the text as it goes by. Yeah, something like that. But instead of scrolling, it would just type out the text. So it would pop in like this, and it would be like subbed for X months, then delete, then go back into the tray. So yeah, I mean, yeah, not dissimilar from that. That's a good analogy for sure. It's maybe a little bit different, but yeah, that's the idea. For the sound effects, let me pull up what I want here. I'm trying to keep the theme of like how my name is Aaron 404, like Error 404.
Eyes on that exit.
So I'm trying to keep a theme of like webcore. So the idea is that it's going to be a classic like Windows XP logo or window.
Oui.
So the window is going to look something like this. Give me a minute here. It's going to look something like this. This old classic Windows XP. I missed the LEDs again. Did it again. Hold on. Alright, that's good enough.
Eyes on that exit.
Yeah, the window's gonna look something like this. It's gonna be an old retro logo with like all the old nostalgic looking buttons and all that. The sound effect that pops up is probably gonna be the old ta-da sound effect from Windows. Oh, we got an ad. Hold on.
Get mechanic
Hold
training
on.
at Universal.
Hold on. That thing. You know that thing. So yeah. You'd probably hear the ta-da as like the sound of the notification. See the window pop up. And then you would see your name being typed into the window. Maybe a few other sounds here and there to, fill out the animation, but that's a rough idea. Then for the sub badge, I'm honestly kind of strapped for ideas about the badge. That one's a little trickier to come up with, if I'm honest. But I think the badge is honestly just going to be... let me pull up the logo, but... that logo in my profile picture with the little page that's like sad, that it's from Google. This thing,
Yeah.
it would just be this, but like different colors. And once you get to a certain amount of time, it'd probably turn like silver and bronze and gold. For like, I don't know, like 1, 2, 3 years or something like that. Which is a little lame, I'll admit. I think it's a little lame to kind of just lift Google's art and just use that as my sub badge. But honestly, I feel like that kind of suits the channel the best. If I am going to keep that theme of internet culture. But, I'm still racking my brain about it. Try to find something if I can. A bit more, you know, original and unique to me, but I don't think I would mind using that, to be honest. I don't think it's that bad of a sub badge. And then I believe I would just use some basic emotes for my first couple slots. Why not try your logo with different color borders? Yeah, that's the idea. It's not gonna just be like a transparent PNG with nothing altered. There's gonna be different colors involved for sure. I haven't figured out exactly what colors it's gonna be yet, but yeah, there are gonna be different colors involved for sure. And then for the emotes, I think I only get like 5 slots to start out with as an affiliate. But it's basically just going to be like a waving emote to show that you've arrived in chat, to say hi to other people in chat. There's going to be one that's a rainbow heart balloon to kind of pay homage to Bloons and use it as a kind of like friendship emote or like love emote. Instead of a normal heart, it would be the rainbow regrow heart from this game. There's going to be, let me think, probably like a muted emote to show when I've been muted. I think I have 2 more available. I think I need to come up with another one, but a 4th one that I have an idea for is if I'm playing a hard game where I die a lot, people can spam the "You Were Slain" screen from Terraria, which, let me pull that up really quick. If you've ever played Dark Souls or seen the Dark Souls meme, when you die that says "you died," it's gonna be like that, but Terraria instead. I really just muted for that whole segment? I think I just muted myself for another like a few minutes. I was just talking about how I should get an emote to show when I muted too. It's pretty funny. Anyways, I was just saying I don't really know what I'm going to use as a 5th emote slot because I don't really have any inside jokes on the channel aside from maybe being muted. So I don't know what I'm going to use for that 5th emote slot yet, but I'll probably figure it out when the time comes. Wow. All right. That's kind of funny, but whatever. Yeah, sub notification animation, sub emotes, and sub badge are definitely in the works. But again, I do need to reach 50 followers before I can even implement that to the channel, so it might be a while before all that takes effect. I can't really control how many followers I get, so it's just going to be a matter of time before that starts to develop, of course. And we got our tack shooter Paragon, finally. We got the Crucible of Steel and Flame, which is a crazy name. And it costs a good amount of money. Oh, which means we can move on to the monkey sub on the next game. I'm just gonna go ahead and buy a monkey sub for the ZOMG coming up. Gonna hope we get enough to get this before round 80. Yeah, busy week for me this week for work. Then, of course, I need to start working on the stream stuff, which is gonna take who knows how long to do. I need to figure out how to how to make those assets for the animation. I need to make the animation itself, which is gonna probably take me hours to just learn how to do. And I need to figure out how I'm gonna get the text on screen in that way. Because usually with like Streamlabs or Stream Elements, there's a default setting for the sub notifications. It's kind of hard to explain, but basically, if you have sub notifications enabled, what that means is that every time a sub or a follower or whatever hits your channel, that notification goes to OBS, which then travels from OBS to whatever other streaming service you're using for your overlay, like Stream Elements, Streamlabs. I don't know, maybe you have your own website or something like that. But basically, it tells the overlay website to activate that animation. So there's like a default setting for how the text pops up on screen. Because of course it needs to know who subscribed and for how long. So it's kind of a tricky thing to have custom animations for that. Because how would you animate something that needs to be programmed in that way? How would you animate something like, if, you know, if you subscribe to me, I think you're mid at chess. If you subscribe to me, how would the program know to display the text in the way that I want? It could display the text for sure and like fade onto screen or something like that. But how would I be able to program the text to be animated in the way that it should be like typed on screen? Because it's not like I'm the one typing it, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna have to figure that out, which I think is gonna be the hardest part. I don't even know if that's really possible or easily possible. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure it out somehow.
Tracking BFB.
Everything else should be relatively easy, though. I can figure out how to put some sound effects and some assets together for the animation, but it's just that text, that custom text animation that I think is going to be tough to get. Nice. Okay. We're going to cut this here. Call that episode 2.